Hey everybody, I'm back for an update on week 2 with my Byte. So I already put week 2 aligners in, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should do a video update, which I was going to do anyway. So here are my week 1 aligners I took out. They are still very nice and clear. I have drank coffee a couple times, my iced coffee through a straw with them, and then rinsed my mouth out afterwards, but no staining. I haven't really wore the bottom ones because in my last video I had trouble because they were loose in the back, and so I had contacted Byte, got a quick response when I told them the same day I did the last video that they were too loose. So I had an email, and I also received a phone call from one of their orthodontists, Dr. Todd. He had me try to sleep in overnight, use the Hyperbite here, and then even after the Hyperbite turned off, to bite down on it in 20-second intervals, kind of like the same thing that the Chewies would do with the other companies to try to help seat them. Following morning, no change. It didn't matter. So if I bit down in the back, they would lift up in the front. And looking back at the picture I had done when I did my impressions, it doesn't look like I had maybe pressed down far enough in the back. So they sent me a new impression kit, didn't charge me anything, obviously, for 1 day priority mail. So I redid my impressions. I made sure they were straight, and I pushed down pretty much all the way to the base on the back. So they're supposed to be sending out all 12 weeks worth excuse me, of my bottom aligners. So he told me to go ahead and continue on with the uppers, that my treatment plan, it was okay to do that. So that's what I've been doing. I've been using the Byte solution, which is the little foaming stuff. When I do use that, I put the bottom tray in just to pretty much use as a whitening tray, since it's not, it fits enough to do that so that I'm not whitening my teeth. How do I want to say it? Like, so that my upper teeth are not going to be whiter than my bottom. So I've been doing that, but I can't, like, just drinking water with this, and it was making them lift. So they were obviously too loose, but the bottom ones fit fine. So it has now been a week. The top ones have become, I don't want to say loose, but looser. So they're not painful to have in my mouth. You can tell that the adjustments that were supposed to be made with those were done. It was only like the first 2 days, and then after that, it was just like having a plastic tray in my mouth. So I've been excited to switch them out. Excuse me, I'm just getting over being sick. So obviously, I have to brush and floss after every single time that I eat, which I'm not used to doing. I'm just used to my normal, when I get up in the morning before I go to bed at night. So I have a Sonicare toothbrush. I use that unless I'm at work. Then I use the handheld one. I have the floss, obviously. I also have this little flosser tool that I got when I was pregnant, to kind of help get to the back teeth a little bit better. So I use both the regular floss and this at the same time. So I have that, and then the little head just come off. I use my tongue scraper as well. My teeth, I have noticed, even before today, have gotten a lot whiter. So my teeth have always been kind of yellowish, and I don't know if you can tell, but they're whiter. They're not obviously white yet, but I'll put a little photo in here as kind of like a before and after picture. So here's a little Hyperbite thing. This part comes off, so you can wash it off after each use. And then this is the bottom that turns on, and the button here. And it'll flash this blue for 5 minutes, and the vibrations start at a like lower frequency, and then they kind of move up from that, so you don't have like an intense vibration right off the bat, and it's not like a super high anyway. So it's time to switch these out. Like I said, I have put them in once. I did have to file them down in a couple spots in the back. I also noticed the top, I don't know, there's like, I need to maybe file it down a little bit more, but there's a spot on it that was like poking down. So I actually took my nail clippers and kind of clipped a tiny bit of that off, so it's not as bad anymore. So these are my second ones. You can't really tell a difference by looking at them from tray 1 to tray 2. but tray 2 is a lot tighter than tray 1 was. And my bottom trays for week 2 actually fit better than week 1's, but there is still a little bit in the back. Like, so if I bite down, it'll lift them in the front, but it's not as bad as week 1's. So I'm gonna, oh yeah, I can definitely tell with these now. I don't know if you can tell, but it's not even, and I think that's part of the problem. So these are my lowers. So usually after I eat, I don't really snack like I usually do. So it's usually the 3 times I eat, I'll use the Byte. So what I do for that is I just pump it in here and I spread it out so it's not overflowing. So when you put it in, you're supposed to spit the rest of it out, because obviously you're going to have a little bit that goes overflow. So I just have a little cup here because I'm sitting in bed next to my little baby while he's napping. So I'll put these in. Sorry. Alright. It's got a nice, like, fresh taste. The bottom ones definitely make you have a little bit of a lisp. And I haven't really had one much because I haven't been wearing the bottom tray for week 1 because they're sending me new ones. But like I said, I whiten them. And then, you know, once it's been a little bit, I take it out. So I'll do the same thing with this one. And, you know, not dump the tray. Oh, these are really tight. Really, really tight. So I may have to take some Motrin for these ones. Especially since I'm getting ready to work 12 hours tonight. So they're in. The bottom ones are in. Like I said, the bottom ones are a little bit tighter than week 1's. But I'm just using them mainly so I can do my whitening right now. And obviously when I get the new set that comes in, I'm not sure how long it's going to take. I sent it back. I got it on Saturday, did the impressions, and then sent them back. So I let them know, Wednesday last week that they were too loose, and I got a response the same day, and so they sent me out a new kit. I received it Saturday, and then I sent it back in Saturday. So I'm sure they've received it by now because it was a one-day priority mail. So it's just a matter of, I'm not entirely sure how long it's going to take them to print those aligners and send them back out. So anytime you switch over to your aligners, usually it's at nighttime before bed. But like I said, I'm getting ready to take a short nap because I've been up all day before I go to work. So this is like my nighttime. So you just put it in your mouth like this and turn it on. It'll flash red if you turn it off before the 5 minutes. It automatically turns off after 5 minutes. But I'm not going to sit here with this in my mouth the entire 5 minutes for now. Let's see. So far, I mean, I had the issues with the bottom ones. Mistakes can happen with anything. They were quick to fix it. It was more so probably a fault on my end for not pushing it back far enough on the bottom side. First time. So I'm pretty happy with what I got so far. I was a little discouraged last week when I first opened it and they were too loose, and I'm like, oh no. But like I said, the orthodontist, he texted me. He's like, hey, this is Dr. Todd. Is this Alexis? Can I give you a call? So like I said, they were really quick. They had me send pictures of the aligners in my mouth to see how they fit. I also sent them pictures of the aligners like sitting on the table flat so that they could also see what the problem was. So far I'm happy. Like I said, going into week 2. So we'll see what week 2 brings. And then I'll see you again next week when we go into week 3. Bye.